What's going on, folks? Another Thursday night. All right. No, it's Monday. I keep getting my days confused.
You're
Anyway,
tired.
yeah, I'm tired. I felt like crap all day for some reason. But I hope you guys had a great Labor Day weekend. Had a nice long weekend. I know I enjoyed it. Tried to hang out and watch a little football. You ain't gonna believe what happened with my football game on Thursday night. Sitting there, sat down in my chair like 5 minutes before the game starts, waiting on the first game of the season for my Gators. And right when it comes on, they do their little music thing and the commentators come on and they're talking about the matchup and how great the game's going to be and all of that. And then they cut to the field and both teams are lined up there ready to do the kickoff. Right when the kicker starts running to the ball, the screen went black. Boom, pitcher was gone. Out. Well, I sat there and looked at it for, about a good 10, 15 seconds. Then a notice pops up that ESPN and their parent company, Disney, has not come to terms with Spectrum, who is my cable provider, for Spectrum to keep showing their programming. So I didn't get to see the game on ESPN. It looks like Disney and Disney and Spectrum are kind of in a little tussle, and they still haven't got it settled. So all of my ESPN and Disney networks are gone. I didn't watch Disney Network anyway. I don't give a damn, bunch of pedophiles. But can't watch my football on ESPN, ACC, or SEC Network. They're all gone. So that's how my holiday weekend started. But y'all know me. I wasn't going to stand for that. I go over to YouTube, get to looking around, and I find the game that somebody has on. They have it on their channel. They're streaming it through StreamYard. This service right here. They're showing it on their YouTube channel. So I did get to watch the game. I just didn't get to watch it on ESPN. It looks like I'm not going to be able to. So I'm not for a while. Like I said, they're in a tussle, and it don't look like it's going to be settled anytime soon. But hey, it's just football. But then something serious happened on Friday. I'm sure everybody out there knows it by now. We lost Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy went on. He went on to that big beach in the sky. So, I mean, that one right there kind of hit home to me because I've probably been to 50 of his shows over the years. And I know I've listened to his music for thousands of hours. Dang, I know probably pretty much every word in his songs. That's just how much I enjoyed that music and that being able to lay back, catch that lifestyle, that beach lifestyle. But he went on, and I'm pretty sure everything's all right. I did see something that really actually surprised me about that. When Paul McCartney got word of what happened, he was in London, and he instantly chartered a plane and flew to the United States to be with Jimmy Buffett's family to help comfort him. That's class. That is class right there. So we got to move on from there. We got his memories, so let's cherish those, guys. Love me some Jimmy Buffett. So let's see who we got in the house tonight. Looks like first one in was Hill Bill. There we go. Tennessee's in the house. Michelle J's with us. Yeah, Lori's Thrifty Kitchen Pantry's in here. Glad to see you on every day. That means you're feeling a little better. So if y'all would continue to pray for her, that would be great. Obviously, it's helping out. Who else we got down here? Let me see. Let me scroll down. I ain't seeing a lot. Might be because it is, Labor Day. Nick L's with us. We got to get together, Nick. You live local. Definitely got to get together. Tammy Joe, there she is. All right, Tammy Joe and Lynn, that's my girls right there. Yeah, that's my girls. Greg Harmon's with us. Yeah, I think that's about it. Is that all we got tonight? No, there's Metal Textile.
Down, they're popping in all crazy all down
Metal
here.
Textile's in here with us. Katie's with us, back with us. Thank you for joining me. All right. Go Grizz, huh? All right. Twack hammer's back. I wish I'd thought of that handle. If I did, you wouldn't have got it. I like that name. Fluffy. There we go. Jess 44. Thank you, folks, for being in here with me tonight. Short-lived saint. Hey, if you're going to be a saint, you know, you don't want to live long because you know where you're going, and it's much better than this place we're in right now. And we're
Debbie and Rob are here too. I think you missed them.
Debbie and Rob's in here. Did I see them? There they are, right there. Okay, yeah. We got to get back to the gun range, guys. Even if you don't go, I'm going. Jess wants to say hello to you, Lady Prepper.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get on with it. I haven't talked to you guys since the storm. I know a lot of you were here in Florida, and it had to impact you pretty much unless you're way south or way west up in the Panhandle. It's like it kind of went right through the central part of Florida and then skirted up into Georgia and South Carolina. So I hope everybody got through that okay. We did. Well, we had some winds for a little while, but we got a lot of rain. It was mostly rain here. Didn't get any damage, thank goodness. Didn't lose any utilities, no power or, cable or anything. It wouldn't matter to me if cable went out. Sons of bitches, they canceled my football game. I'm still pissed off about that. But like I said, I did get to see it. It just took a little doing, a little scrambling. But hopefully you got through that all right. And everybody's ready for the next one because there's another one brewing out there. I put a link down in the description down there for Mr. Weatherman. I like to do that when I'm talking about these storms because if you're in Florida, he's probably, I think, our best source for what's going on with these storms. It's Brian Shields over on Channel 9. Him and Tom Terry's on top of it, folks. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, they are good. So if you want to know what's going on, he puts up a post video every day, what's going on with these storms. Just drop in there and check it out and let him know I sent you. Tell him the Orlando Prepper sent you over there. You never know. He might give me some kudos too. We'll see. I also put a link down there to that live satellite map, a wind map. It's a system of satellites all over the world that's live. You can click on that and you can check any part of the globe and see how, what the winds are doing and stuff like that. And you can just, when there's a storm, you can just zoom right in on it. It's actually a really neat little feature I like to play with a lot. So that's down there for you too. But that storm's on the way. It's National Preparedness Month, folks. September is National Preparedness Month. This one's for you. So get out there and get them supplies. We got a couple of more days. What's today, the 4th? Yeah, we got until Friday. You don't pay any sales tax on any prepping items you buy in the state of Florida. So we got 4 more days of that. Jump out there and get it. Whatever you need. It's a pretty good break on some stuff. If you're buying an item that, has a big price tag, it'll save you a lot of money. But hey, even if you're just buying a pack of batteries, you save the sales tax on that. So, it's something you really need to take advantage of. But make sure you get that done. Probably be a good idea. If you haven't got an inventory of what your items are, it'd be a good time to inventory those items and write it down or put it on a computer. I would recommend writing it down because things go really bad. You ain't gonna be able to access your computer anyway. If we get a little light from above, bing, and everything dies, you won't be able to access your computer anyway, unless you got one in a Faraday cage like I do. And I have that inventory on that computer, so I will be able to get to it. That's something you might want to think about doing, folks. But let's get on with what I wanted to come here and talk about. No, I got one more joke I want to show. This is a joke. In California, they passed a bill to prosecute people who try to stop shoplifters. Are you believing that? They legalize shoplifting and then pass a bill to make it illegal to try to stop shoplifters. If you own a shop, you just got to throw your hands up and let them go. If not, you could be fined as much as $28,000 and be arrested. And I guarantee you that there won't be any free bail on something like that, because you're fighting back against the machine when you stop theft in your business. So I'm pretty sure, that place out there has just gone nuts. It's crazy out there. But now let's get on what we come here to talk about. And that's how you're being lied to every day. Not just in newspapers and on television, but on a lot of channels like this one right here. If people make mistakes, I know that. I make mistakes here. So whenever somebody gives you some information that you think is important, go check it out yourself. Don't just sit back and believe it. Because, like I said, a lot of it is just people on YouTube making mistakes. Now, I'm sure there are channels out there that's pushing propaganda for this administration. And when we get into this Bipartisan Safer Communities Act here in just a few minutes, you'll see what I'm talking about as far as being misinformed here on these channels. But here's one I wanted to show you. We all remember the little kid that got embarrassed and pulled out of class. I think it was in Colorado because he had a Gadsden flag on his backpack. Well, this is the statement that the school put out, and CBS run with it. But in that little red box there, the school said the patch in question was part of a half a dozen other patches of semi-automatic weapons. Now, we expect the school to say that because they're trying to cover their ass. They're going to get sued. They're going to wind up having to pay this kid. But what I don't expect is for CBS to just take it and run with it like it's true. That's ridiculous. And y'all know me, as soon as I heard this story, I get to checking things out. So I go get a picture of the backpack, blow it up. There it is. There's not one semi-automatic weapon on there anywhere. I don't know what that main patch up there is with the J-Rod for VP Revolution, but there's no firearms there. On that little patch or whatever it is, there's a couple of banners, and it looks like sitting on a podium. There's a bag of something. But the patches in question down here, you got two with St. Michael. He's holding a sword because he's a guardian angel. You got one of a dog. Probably this kid's dog. That looks more like a picture than a patch. And a patch there with a longhorn bull in it. I can't read exactly what it says, but when I blew it up, it didn't say AR-15, AK-47, or anything like that. And then you got the Gadsden flag down at the bottom. But CBS reported that there was automatic weapons patches on there. No, you can see there's not. Now, if my dumbass redneck is smart enough to blow that picture up and check it out, you would think somebody at CBS News would do that as well before they put that out. But no, they don't care. They're just trying to push an agenda, and they're lying as usual. Mainstream media in this country is nothing but a propaganda wing, for the Democratic Party. But here's another good example. All right. Neo-Nazis marched through Florida Park. Okay. That did happen. That was on Saturday. They marched through a park, waving their flags. A lot of them was actually covered up completely, which makes me think there might have been some professional agitators in there from some alphabet soup agency. But this did happen. They had a little rally, which they had the right to do. But let me show you how NBC reported that. Neo-Nazi groups fuse hate outside Disney World and near Orlando, officials say. Well, where they were was about 30 miles from Disney World. They weren't even close to it. They were in the park in Altamont, Florida. Cranes Roost Park's a pretty popular park here in Central Florida. They were marching over there. But it's almost 30 miles from Disney World. But NBC wanted to report it this way. This is what mainstream media is doing to you and me. Of course, we ain't falling for that crap because, like me, when I saw it, I said, okay, let me go check this out. And then here, I found out where it was. It was in Altamont, Florida. It was nowhere near Disney World. But NBC, I guess they had to throw that name in there to try to, get hits on the internet or whatever. But it's just a straight up lie. They were nowhere near Disney World. But they're wanting people to believe that. So, when somebody tells you something that piques your interest, do your own research, folks. Please do your own research. Even if it's me, like I said, I make mistakes. If I say something here that's wrong and you go out and you find it and you can document it, let me know. Because I'm not perfect. There's only one perfect person ever walked this world. Man right here. He's up there now. But, get out there and look it up. Find out what's going on for yourself because you can't believe what people are telling you, guys. I don't care who it is, especially this administration. The government is trying so hard to convince people that everything is going great, where we all know better. Inflation's at 3.5%. Yeah. From last year when it was 9.5%. And then from the year, it just builds up and builds up. People know when they go to the grocery store, things ain't great. When they go to the gas station, they know things aren't great. But the more these people try to convince you of that, the more you need to believe this thing's getting bad and it's getting bad quick because they're trying hard to cover it up. Did you see a lot of talk in the news media about BRICS last week? Nope. You sure didn't. And you're probably not going to because they don't want people here to know about it. They don't want people to realize how weak we really are in the world right now. So the more they try to push that on you, the more you got to think it's getting worse. It's getting worse because it is. All right, I skewed off there. Sorry about that, guys. Let me get back on my misinformation topic here.
It'll be Monday night if you didn't get off track.
Yeah, that's probably true. Pauline made it. All right. Jumped in there right on the break for me. I appreciate that. Perfect timing. 4th and gold in the house. There we go. Yeah. Lori wanted to say hello to you too. There we go. But last week, the federal government put out, the ATF put out a policy. It's not a law. ATF don't make laws. They're not an elected legislative body, so they can't make laws. Everything they've done pretty much has been shot down on federal level as far as pistol braces or triggers or whatever. They throw these laws out there to try to keep people from, to scare the hell out of people when it's not a law anyway, it's just a policy. And they're continually getting shot down on the federal level, thank goodness. But they came out with this Bipartisan Safer Communities Act update is what it is. And not all of them, a lot of prepper channels jumped on board with it instantly. Just bam, they were all over it. Talking about how they're going to make it illegal for you to sell your gun. If you have a gun you want to sell to somebody, then you're not going to be able to do it unless you get a federal firearms license. And this is the passage they're using for that. It's in part 2 of this policy, proposed rules. See, it's a rule, it's not a law. Section C on page 27. That's small, so I'll read it to you guys. Similarly, there is no minimum number of transactions that determines whether a person is engaged in the business of dealing in firearms. Instead, the established approach for determining whether an individual is engaged in a business is to look at the totality of the circumstance. Now, here's the one everybody's getting ticked about. Thus, even a single firearms transaction or offer to engage in a transaction, when combined with other evidence, may be sufficient to require a license. That part right there is the one everybody's worried about. A single transaction. But if you just go pick out what you want and use that to talk to people about it, then you're not being honest with people. It's that simple. I'm going to show you right here. Earlier in that same policy, in Part 1, Supplemental Information, Section D, page 12, the top part there that's not in the box, that defines what a firearms dealer is. The part that you are concerned with is, however, the BSCA, which is the Bipartisan Safe Communities Act, definition does not include a person who makes occasional sales, exchanges, or purchase of firearms from their personal collection for a hobby, or to sell all or part of their personal collection. That's before you get to the part everybody's saying, you're going to be a criminal if you do this. This is before that. They're leaving that out. They don't want you to see that. They don't want you to know that. Now, maybe they're just misinformed, because I'm a retired police officer. When I see these laws come out, I know how to read them. I also study constitutional law. And I know you have to read it all to understand what it means. Now, I'm not taking up for the federal government at all. Believe me, anything they put out on the Second Amendment, I know is bad. And I don't support it. But this one section right here that's highlighted in red protects you. You can sell your gun. Make sure you sell it to somebody you know. Make sure you're responsible with that transaction. Okay? Try your best to know this person. Find out who they are if you can, if you don't know them. Because we don't want to be selling guns to criminals. Nobody does. But also earlier in that, in Part 1, it's in Section E on page 14. They redefine that again. Well, they don't redefine it. They reestablish it again. At the same time, the BSCA, at the same time, it recognizes that individuals who purchase firearms for the enhancement of a personal collection or a legitimate hobby are permitted by this law to occasionally buy and sell firearms for those purposes without the need to obtain a license. That's twice. That's twice that was spelled out. Before we got to that section, that first section I showed you that everybody's using, everybody's harping on, twice it was defined before that. And it goes on even after that. And other places. This is a 108-page policy. I read it all.
I was just going to say, did you read it all?
Yes, I always read every bit of it when it comes to Second Amendment. But it's in other parts of this rule or policy or whatever you want to call it. Now let's go back to that original. See that section in the box right there? When combined with other evidence. When they read that sentence there that says you have to have a firearms license for just a single transaction, they leave that out. When combined with other evidence. That other evidence they're talking about is the guidelines they set down to be a federal firearms dealer. And every time they did that, right below it, like I showed you, they had a section that was cut out just for people like you and me, just like that, who wants to occasionally buy a gun or sell a gun or trade a gun. Or, if you get grandpa's gun collection when he passes away and you don't want to maintain them all or keep them all, you can legally sell those. It don't matter what some of these prepper channels are out there saying. You can legally sell your firearms. So my point here is, point of this whole thing, I guess, is when you hear something, check it out. Do it for yourself. Don't just take anybody's word for it. Not even mine. If you don't believe what I showed you right there is true, I put that bill. There's a link to it down in the box below. You can click on it and read it yourself. You can go back, watch this video, and check out those sections. That's why I put the section at the top of each one of these. like that one, Part 2 and Proposed Rules, Section C on page 27. You can go see for yourself. This is what I do with everything I bring up like this. I make sure it's right, I'm right, before I bring it to you. So when you click on one of these channels and they're telling you, you can't sell your gun without a federal firearms license. The ATF's going to come get you and lock you up. No, they're not. They don't give a shit about you. If you're just selling one gun, they don't care about you. If you're selling 5 guns, they don't care about you. Don't matter. That's not what this policy was written for. This was written to define what a federal firearms dealer is, and it also cuts out those exceptions for individuals. Like I said, I'm not taking up for the federal government. To hell with the federal government. All right, I think the best thing that could happen to us is if it all crumbled and we started all over. Because I know people like me and you are going to be the ones to step up and do what has to be done to make sure it's done right.
Michelle has a question.
What's that?
She wants to know what the pew pew is behind you.
That is just an air gun. That's a 22 caliber Daisy classic air gun. And the one right above it, which you can't see in this picture, that rifle, it's also a 22 caliber air rifle. Those are a couple of guns that you need to add to your collection if you have one, because even if things do go sideways, those are great to hunt small game with, and they're 22 caliber. If you're going to buy, air propelled weapons, make sure that they're all the same caliber, either 22 or .177, but make sure they're both the same. But these, those two up there are great for taking down small game like rabbits or, birds or squirrels or the neighbor's chickens. And to do it quietly.
They can hear you.
Who can hear me?
The chickens.
I don't care. I'll fry them. She don't believe in frying chickens when they stop laying. They're not producing, they're a burden to me, but they're pets to her. So I have to let her keep them.
That's right.
But hey, do like I did when I was about 9, 10 years old. Reach down and grab that head and wring that neck.
Don't even think about it.
It's easy. It's easy. Done it many times. I was a kid and I did that several times. But fresh chicken, it don't taste like what you buy in the store now. If you've never had fresh chicken, it don't taste the same. But let me get back on topic here. I went skewed away again. But a couple of the big channels were talking this, and I'm just going to say these guys are just misinformed. I don't think they were purposely trying to mislead you. I think they heard somebody say this, and they went and picked it out and they posted it and they run with it without reading it all. But anything like this, I'm going to read it all, every bit of it, because I want you to know what's right. If I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to be right about it. I don't care what it is. I usually check 3 sources for anything that I post here. A lot of times more, but I don't bring you something, from off some obscure news site that I haven't verified at least 2 or 3 more times. So I'm just telling you, if you want the truth, keep coming right here. Keep coming seeing this old redneck, because I'm going to tell you the truth. And this is the truth, and you ain't going to like it. This is coming back. I don't know how they're going to try to mandate it, but they're already talking about it. They're already talking about face masks. This is coming. Yes, stew pot. Bill's got it right on that chicken.
All right, everybody. Quiet down.
That's right. That's a good one. But this is coming back. They are going to try to mandate it, but I don't think it's going to do any good. Now, if you combine that with the cluster mess that's going to be the election next year, it might actually pop off something serious. So get ready, guys. Get your food ready. Prices are going up, 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 up. I saw a report from a farmer in Michigan, an onion farmer, talking about how a lot of the farmers' contracts are running out with food producers. They're running out at the end of the year, and prices are going to go up dramatically when they renegotiate these contracts. So it's going to have an effect on your food real quick, probably in the spring or summer next year.
What about the article that was, we don't have the highest grain production anymore? It's Brazil now?
Brazil is the highest producer of corn in the world now.
The first time ever.
For the first time.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I checked that. It's the first time since the early 1960s the United States is not the top producer of corn in the world. Our corn production has dropped, which, you know what that's going to do? Psst, prices are going to go up.
Corn's in everything.
Yep, corn's in pretty much everything. And wheat, the wheat harvest was terrible this year, so that we're going to have an effect on that. But all right, I've taken up enough of your life, and I appreciate you giving me that. I love every one of you. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to surf around YouTube and find that Clemson Duke game, because I know it ain't on ESPN. I'm going to try to find it. So, get your food ready, guys. We know what's coming with bricks. I did get a couple of emails from people that said, well, our money's still good, and they had that meeting. I didn't say that it was all going to die all of a sudden. And as a matter of fact, I think I actually said a few times that they're not going to do it right away. They're going to try to use their local currencies and fend this off as long as possible. And that's exactly what happened. So, but it's coming, guys. BRICS is going to run our economy. China has a target on our back in the economic world. Believe me. So with that, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to say stay strong and keep prepping, folks. Love every one of you. I truly do. Hope you have a wonderful evening. And if you have to go back to work tomorrow, I feel sorry for you because my old ass is retired. Ha! Orlando Prepper is out.